Barcelona's transfer market is getting absolutely crazy. With Robert Lewandowski officially leaving the club, Barça are now desperately searching for their next superstar striker, and Manchester City forward Omar Marmoush has suddenly reappeared on the club's radar. But with Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, and Galatasaray also interested, the race is already heating up fast. And that's not all. Ronald Araujo's future at Camp Nou is becoming increasingly uncertain as Inter Milan continue monitoring the Uruguayan defender, while Hansi Flick reportedly has doubts about Alessandro Bastoni despite Deco already advancing negotiations. Meanwhile, Barcelona could finally return to La Liga's famous 1:1 financial rule for the first time in years, opening the door for massive summer transfers. And in an emotional farewell, Robert Lewandowski delivered one final inspiring message to the squad that left the entire dressing room in tears. From transfer drama and financial battles to emotional goodbyes and Champions League dreams, this summer could completely change the future of FC Barcelona. Stay tuned because this story is only getting started. Barcelona revive interest in €60 million rated Manchester City forward, report. FC Barcelona are scanning the striker market far and wide in their search for a new number 9 to replace Robert Lewandowski, who is leaving at the end of the season. Julian Alvarez was seen as the top target, but that option is now practically ruled out due to the cost of the operation. Instead, the Blaugrana are now focusing on a move for Chelsea's João Pedro, although the Blues remain reluctant to sell. As such, the newly crowned La Liga champions are also keeping an eye on other options that are liked internally and may be easier to negotiate. Omar Marmoush back on the agenda. As such, Sport reports that Barcelona are considering reviving their pursuit of Manchester City forward Omar Marmoush if moves for none of their priority targets work out. The Manchester City forward is considering leaving the Premier League and is waiting for developments from the Catalans in the coming weeks. Marmoush has already decided to reject offers from Saudi Arabia because he wants to continue competing at the highest level in Europe. Once the season ends and before joining his national team camp for the World Cup, he and his representatives are expected to meet with Manchester City to define his future. Signed as a major arrival, he currently finds himself behind Erling Haaland and with limited chances of becoming a regular starter. He does not want to play a secondary role and already has interest from major clubs across Europe, which could lead him to push for a move away. Barcelona like Marmoush but face competition. Barcelona have been monitoring Marmoush since January. He is a player liked by both Deco and Hansi Flick. Internally, they believe he can operate across every attacking position and that his combination play would fit perfectly with Barcelona's style. From a sporting perspective, he suits the team, even if he may not be the type of signing that creates major excitement from a media standpoint. However, Atletico Madrid are also following his situation closely, while AC Milan have him on their shortlist. Galatasaray, too, are said to be willing to spend heavily to secure him. Manchester City invested €75 million in Marmoush's signing and would want to recover that, although his current market valuation is considered lower. If his situation develops into a genuine market opportunity, Barcelona could seriously consider a move. Much of the last few months have involved links between Barcelona and Inter defender Alessandro Bastoni, yet in Italy there is now talk that one of the Blaugrana defenders is of interest to the Nerazzurri. After several seasons of speculation over his future, Captain Ronald Araujo is likely to be a talking point after another year without a starting spot. Barcelona's plans to sign Alessandro Bastoni have reportedly slowed down because Hansi Flick is not fully convinced the Italian defender fits perfectly into his tactical system. Even though sporting director Deco has already made progress in discussions with Bastoni and Inter Milan regarding potential transfer terms, the Barça coach still has doubts, which has temporarily paused the negotiations. Meanwhile, Inter Milan are closely watching Ronald Araujo's situation ahead of the summer transfer window. The Italian club sees the Uruguayan defender as one of the main options to strengthen their backline. There is even speculation that Araujo could potentially become part of negotiations involving Bastoni if Barcelona decide to move forward with the deal. However, Araujo currently has no intention of leaving Camp Nou. The defender remains happy at Barcelona and is under contract until 2030. Hansi Flick is also expected to hold talks with him soon to clarify his role in the team moving forward. Still, there are growing questions about Araujo's future because of his reduced importance this season. Despite returning from his mental health break, he has struggled to regain a regular starting spot and is now behind several defenders in the squad hierarchy. Considering his high salary, Barcelona's management could eventually become open to offers if the right opportunity arrives this summer. The 27-year-old has struggled to earn Flick's trust, and while he has appeared 37 times this year, scoring 4 goals, he only has 1,570 minutes under his belt. Just 15 of those appearances were starts, and he was clearly behind Eric Garcia, Pau Cubarsí and Gerard Martin in the pecking order. Barcelona could be about to return to the so-called 1:1 rule for the first time in 3 years, and La Liga have hinted that it is indeed the case. For the past 3 years, it has not been, despite consistent promises from the hierarchy at the club that it would be the case. Barcelona believe they are very close to solving their financial fair play problems and returning to La Liga's important 1:1 spending rule. According to reports, the club only needs around 11 to 12 million euros more in revenue to fully increase their salary limit and gain greater freedom in the transfer market this summer. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, Barça have struggled with strict financial restrictions and have only managed to operate normally once, in 2022, after activating several economic levers and selling club assets. Because of those limitations, the club has often been unable to spend all the money earned from player sales or salary reductions. Speaking recently, La Liga executive Javier Gomez suggested that Barcelona's situation is improving, although nothing has been officially confirmed yet. He pointed to several positive factors, including the approval of around 70 million euros linked to VIP seating at Camp Nou, the financial savings from Robert Lewandowski's departure, and the opening of a new stand at the stadium. According to Gomez, while clubs do not yet know their final salary limits for next season, most teams already have a strong idea of where they stand financially. For Barcelona, these developments could be enough to finally give them more flexibility in the market and help them pursue major signings this summer. We have to take into account the impact and amortization of Lewandowski. There's a club that has a specific squad budget for the 2026-27 season. They have a player who consumes a lot of their resources and who won't be there anymore. Even though it was planned that he wouldn't continue, they've already done their calculations. No club knows yet if they're over budget or not, but almost 95% of them already have a rough idea of what their situation will be. What does the 1:1 rule mean for Barcelona? The 1:1 rule refers to teams that are within their salary limit and are able to use the totality of the money they make from sales and savings. Teams in excess of their salary limit can only use 60% of the additional income made from wage savings and transfers, while those within their limit can put all of the money from those revenue streams into registering new players. It should be noted this is not the first time that La Liga have been positive about Barcelona's salary limit situation in recent years without the 1:1 rule coming to pass. Lewandowski's inspiring farewell message to the Barcelona squad. It was a highly emotional weekend for Robert Lewandowski. The Polish striker officially announced his departure from FC Barcelona at the end of the season and was able to say goodbye to the Spotify Camp Nou during the match against Real Betis. The 37-year-old striker will bring an end to a 4-year spell filled with goals and remarkable professionalism, which helped Barcelona return to the top, even if the UEFA Champions League ultimately remained out of reach. Lewandowski's message to Barcelona players. Ironically, the Champions League itself became one of the central topics of Lewandowski's farewell speech to the Barcelona squad this past weekend. Indeed, according to Cadena SR, the veteran superstar delivered the following message to his teammates after the final training session before the match against Real Betis. "You're ready to win the Champions League." Lewandowski, reportedly in tears, told the Barcelona players that he was leaving very proud of the work he had done and of the legacy he was leaving behind at Camp Nou. After his words, every player in the squad approached him to embrace him. Captain Ronald Araujo and head coach Hansi Flick also gave speeches on behalf of the team, leaving as a legend. Robert Lewandowski is leaving Barcelona as one of the club's most respected modern stars, even after spending only 4 seasons at Camp Nou. Throughout his time at the club, he earned admiration from teammates, coaches, and fans thanks to his leadership, professionalism, and winning mentality. Several Barcelona players have publicly praised his impact in the dressing room, while Hansi Flick and Joan Laporta have also recognized the importance of his legacy. During his spell with the Blaugrana, Lewandowski helped the club win 3 La Liga titles, 1 Copa del Rey and 3 Spanish Super Cups. Even though he never succeeded in winning the Champions League with Barcelona, the Polish striker still believes the current squad has what it takes to conquer Europe in the future. At the same time, Barcelona are preparing for a hugely important summer transfer window. The club is exploring new attacking options, with Omar Marmoush now seen as a possible reinforcement, while Ronald Araujo continues to attract interest from Inter Milan. Meanwhile, uncertainty still surrounds Alessandro Bastoni's potential arrival, leaving Hansi Flick and sporting director Deco with several crucial decisions that could shape the future of the team. At the same time, the possible return of the 1:1 financial rule could completely transform Barca's transfer strategy and finally give the club more freedom in the market. And while Robert Lewandowski prepares to say goodbye to Camp Nou, his emotional message to the squad proves he still believes this Barcelona team can conquer Europe and win the Champions League one day. What do you think? Should Barcelona sign Omar Marmoush? Will Ronald Araujo stay at the club? Can Hansi Flick bring Barca back to Champions League glory? Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for all the latest FC Barcelona news, transfer updates and breaking stories.